Welcome back. This is Engineer Simon Wasabi, and in this video we're doing a quick math problem that is under differentiation, particularly on the aspect of partial derivatives. So before we begin, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's get to it. Now the question is to say a cardloid is the curve traced by a point on the perimeter of a circle that is rolling around a fixed circle of some radius. The cardloid has an equation of x, which is with respect to t, as 1 minus cos t times cos t. And then that of y as well with respect to t is 1 minus cos of t in brackets times sine of t. We've been taught to show that the cardloid's gradient function is given by dy dx being equal to cos t minus cos 2t over sine 2t minus sine t. Now, in order for us to solve this, we need to understand something. Whenever we're solving questions under partial derivatives, to find the actual complete derivative dy dx, we need to find the partial derivative with two given functions that are in question with respect to another third variable in this context, which is t. So for me to find dy dx, I need to find the partial derivative of x and that of y, apply the partial derivative rules in order for us to find that complete derivative dy dx. Alright, let's make sense out of what I'm saying. So we can start with any of these two separate functions that we've been given. In my case, I'll begin with that of y. We know that y is given to be, in this context, 1 minus cos t. Then we have sine t. Now if you look at this, we need to find the partial derivative of y with respect to t by finding dy dt. Now in order for us to find dy dt, we need to put in consideration that this function of y in terms of t is a product function. Therefore, we're using the product rule where we say a prime b plus b prime of a. And if we collect data, we're saying a is equivalent to 1 minus cos t. And if we find a prime, the derivative of 1, which is a constant, is 0. Then we say minus the derivative of cos t is negative sine of t. This implies that a prime is equal to sine t. Now if we need to find that of b, b is equal to sine t. Then if we need to find b prime, the derivative of sine is cos of t. Now plugging this back into our partial derivative dy dt, we'll be having a prime, which is sine t, then b, which is also sine t, plus b prime, which is cos of t, times a, which is particularly 1 minus cos t, like that. So we're saying the partial derivative dy dt is equal to sine times sine is going to be equal to sine times sine is going to be equal to sine squared t. So we're having sine squared t. Then if we multiply cos t times 1 together with the other cos falling out, we'll be having plus cos t. Then again cos t times minus cos t, we'll be having minus cos squared t. Now if we try and rearrange this in a way that would make some sense, we're saying the partial derivative dy dt is equal to sine squared t minus cos squared t plus cos of t. Now we need to look for some special identity that would help us to write this in a manner that is needed. Now if we look at the special angles we have, the identities under trig, that's if you recall, sine squared t minus cos squared t, if we look at this double angle identities, the one that looks familiar with this, let's put it as hint, is cos of 2a is equal to cos squared a minus sine squared a. Now we're having sine squared t minus cos squared t, not really cos squared a minus sine squared a. So what we can do in the partial derivative rather is just to factorize and rearrange it in a manner that could make sense. So saying the partial derivative dy over dt is equal to, if we factor out the negative to be negative and the sign now be negative sine squared t, then plus cos squared t, like that, and we have that plus cos of t. Now this is going to be the partial derivative dy dt being equal to negative of cos squared t minus sine squared t plus cos of t. Now with this identity that we have here as a hint star, we can say that what we're having as cos squared t minus sine squared t is nothing rather than just a value of minus of cos. Since now in context of our hint to having 2a, we just have to say cos 2t plus cos t. And finally, the partial derivative dy dt, if we push the negative inside, will be cos of t minus cos of 2t. And we'll be done with our first partial derivative dy dt, cos t minus cos 2t. And if you look close on our complete derivative dy dt, we do have something really similar with what we've actually found here. Now, the same concept that we've applied in this context of y, we now apply it to the context of x. So for the x function, we find out the partial derivative. X is equal to 1 minus cos t times cos of t. Now, if you look clearly here, the partial derivative of x with respect to t is dx over dt. And in a similar manner, these two functions are being a product of one another. So we're going to use a product where we say a prime b plus b prime of a. And we can say delta similarly as a being equivalent to 1 minus cos of t, and a prime will be the derivative of 1, we know is 0. The derivative of minus cos t is basically sine t. Then for b, we have it to be, in this context, cos of t. And if we need to find b prime, find the derivative of cos, it's negative sine of t. Now, if I plug this back in our partial derivative, dx over dt, we'll be having a prime is sine t, then b in this context is cos of t, then plus b prime is negative sine of t, then a is 1 minus cos t. Now if we forward it out, the partial derivative dx dt is equal to sine times cos is going to be, let us write it as sine t cos t. Then if we forward out the negative sine t multiplying 1 and the cos there, we'll be having negative sine t, then negative will be positive sine t cos t. Now if you look clearly here, sine t cos t plus the other sine t cos t, these are like terms, and like terms, mathematically speaking, can be added or subtracted. So the partial derivative of x with respect to t will now just be 2 sine t cos t minus sine of t. Now we need to also put in consideration of another trig identity on what we normally call the double angle identities. So if we put in consideration of what is needed, we can say that we can place it also as a hint. So we can say hint. Now let us remember something. Sine 2a is equal to 2 sine a cos of a. Now with that in consideration, it then means that the partial derivative of x with respect to t, dx dt, is equal to just sine of 2t minus sine of t. Now with that in consideration, we need to find that this partial derivative of x and the partial derivative of y has been found. Now how can we make that complete derivative? Remember, we're looking for dy dx, the derivative of y with respect to the derivative of x. Okay, the changing y over the changing what? X. Now partially put this together. So it means dy dx is created in a sense whereby we say partial derivative of y with respect to t divided by the partial derivative of x with respect to t. So dy over dt divided by dx over dt, which is giving us dy over dt was cos t minus cos of 2t over dx dt is sine of 2t minus sine t. Now, one thing you have to understand, if you want, you can just say at this point hence shown, because you have actually shown what they need. But to make this more sensible, let us understand something. This is just a pointer. Now, if you apply mathematical concepts, dy over dt is being divided by dx over dt, meaning that dy over dt, you know, division does change to multiplication and it reciprocates. So we're saying times dt over dx, meaning that the dt and the dt will cancel out and you just end up remaining with dy over dx, like that. So meaning, in this context of what we have here, in actual sense, we're just having dy over dx, and this dy over dx is equal to cos of t minus cos of 2t over sine of 2t minus sine of t. And basically this is what they're asking us to show. They're saying show that the cardloid's gradient function is given by dy dx is equal to cos t minus cos 2t over sine 2t minus sine t. And basically all you just have to say is okay, it's shown. Alright, I know this could look like a handful, but it's not really a handful. Mathematically speaking, you can get to understand this bit by bit. All you have to do is take your time, go through it over and over again, and you get a hang of it. Alright, thanks for watching. Remember, slow progress is better than no progress. Let's suggest before it becomes statistic. Let's try and push for that A+.